Hi guys, what's up? It's Daphne, and I'm the founder and editor-in-chief of Dreamworldgirl Zine. And today I'm coming on YouTube to answer some questions that you guys asked us on Instagram. I have six here that I'm going to go through and answer, and they're all different, just kind of about like the zine and the process and fun things like that. So let's get started with the first question, which is what have been some challenges in developing a zine by yourself? And I think before I get into this one, I'll say that while the zine is independent, I really have had the help of like an entire team. So a lot of the creative direction, a lot of the managerial work, a lot of, making sure that it's running and that we're growing and doing all of the like big things is on me. But my marketing director, Rachel, she has done so much with the graphics and making the zine look the way it does on socials. I have my readers and my editors who like really help out when we start opening submissions. They read everything, they give feedback, they edit all the pieces. My layout designers do the designing for the zine. My photo coordinator does photos. I have people who do like all aspects of the publishing process. So while it is something that I've created and that's like on my own, I've had the support of so many really amazing, talented people, and I'll always shout out my team because I love them so much and they're great people. But I will say that starting your own magazine independently as opposed to doing something through your school or like having like set funding for something is definitely more difficult. The biggest challenge is money. I have put invested money in the zine and I've gotten it back through like profits and sales and things like that. But it's definitely easier if you have money for like really cool photo shoot locations or studios, or if you have money to throw like huge events and like have like an indoor venue, or even if you have money just for like clothes and like styling, because we thrift and source a lot of what we have either, yeah, like from like secondhand stores or from models' closets or my closet. So there are like definitely things that I think would be easier if we had like, I don't know, for example, an Emerson College budget behind the zine, but I think that's honestly the biggest challenge. What I love about having my own magazine is that I get to do whatever the fuck I want with it. I get to work on it when I want to, which we work on it on the off season. So most school mags will work on it while you're in school. So the fall semester and the spring semester. Whereas ours is kind of like opposite. So we work on it during the summer and from October to February. So kind of like fall, winter. That's awesome for me because it's like often my downtime and I actually have time to like be working on the magazine. And then I also love that like we can like use curse words, we can have sexual or like suggestive themes. We can stick with the Y2K aesthetic and like appeal to a lot more people. The things that we get to do with marketing also, like we just have more flexibility, I guess. So I really love that about developing an independent magazine. The second question is, what's my fashion ick? My fashion ick, oh my gosh, fashion ick. I'm trying to think of something like if I see someone wearing this, I'm immediately like, I guess skinny jeans. And they can, I think the only time I've ever seen it like look even like remotely cool is like on like professional models who are like 6'2" and have like crazy proportions and like the skinny jeans show off like their legs or something like that. But otherwise, I hate skinny jeans. I stopped wearing them a long time ago and I never want to wear them again. I just think that they do not look flattering on most people. It just feels regressive to me. And yeah, that's I think skinny jeans are definitely my fashion ick. Next question. Hints about the secret project for those that missed the market. Oh, this is a fun one. Okay, so for you guys that don't know, and this video will probably come out like tonight, but for those of you guys who don't know, yesterday on the 15th of September, we were vendors at Boston Hassel. So that's like a flea and art market in the greater Boston area, and we applied to be vendors there, and then we got accepted, so we vended. And while we were there, Emma, who's actually my future co-editor in chief, so Starting in this new term, she's going to be coming on and handling Boston's order of business. So you guys will definitely be seeing a lot more of her. We're gonna like formally introduce her. But anyway, Emma was vending there. So one of the things that Emma was telling people or like kind of gathering advice for during the market was her secret project that she has coming up as part of her role being editor-in-chief. She has the responsibility now of starting something very, very exciting. And so she was kind of polling there and asking people that came, like, what do you think about this? Like, what would you like to hear from this? And I guess my hint is that it's something that you can listen to, and it often has guests. Um, and it's become very trendy in the past couple of years. So those are all the hints that I'll give about the project that's coming up. It's really, really exciting. It's another way for people to connect with Dreamworldgirl zine. It's another form of media that you guys can interact with, which I'm all about. Like the more that we can give you guys, the better. So that's a little bit about the secret project. And it's actually, you're gonna be hearing a lot of everything is coming up really fast. Like in October, we're hiring, we're opening submissions, we're doing our theme reveal, we're starting the photo shoot schedule. So it's all gonna be like crazy. Like we're just gonna have so many things going on, and this is one of them. Okay. So the next question is advice for people first starting up a zine. So we actually just started, or we just like launched a virtual workshop for this exact thing, like for people that literally have never started a zine before and or a magazine and really want to do that. It's basically like a beginner's guide to how to do that. So it kind of walks you through the process. It's a 10 section course. So every section talks about a different aspect of starting your own magazine, and there are some like video accompaniments. There's so many tips, there's like PDFs, there's additional resources. I spent a lot of time on it, really perfecting that for someone who like is looking to kind of see how that process is. So I know it's a bit of a cop out, but I highly recommend going to our website. It's under shop, under Mag Workshops. It's $5 to take the course, and the money goes towards our zine and like producing it and keeping it running. And you get all of these amazing tips about how to start your magazine. So I'd have to recommend that. But if I guess my number one tip that I'll give you just because you asked, and this is what the video is for, so I don't want to just be like, go buy it. I guess my number one tip though for starting your own magazine would be to find your niche. This is something, I think this is the first thing I talk about in the course too, but like when you're dreaming up your concept for the magazine, you want to find something that's authentic and original, and unique. So, for example, a lot of the magazines that you're going to see on socials, like once you start getting into this community, are very general. They have like general kind of themes and mission statements, like we want to uplift diverse voices, or we are for women, or we are like we want to uplift young voices. And like all of those things are great and amazing, and those are things that we like to do as well. However, it doesn't really tell people anything about your zine, and it doesn't give you a lot to go off of as far as branding, which I think is a huge part of the magazine world that a lot of people don't understand, is that even literary magazines, the really successful ones, have a very specific brand, even if it's not like elaborate, like it's niche. And I think that's what you have to do, is you have to find your niche. So like, for example, one of the things that we do to like find our niche is catering our zine to women and other marginalized gender identities. So we don't really we don't really work with men a lot, and if we do, they're queer. We also have this Y2K aesthetic, so honing into the 90s and early 2000s that differentiates our zine from other people. And then also the fact that we're multimedia. So we're not just prose and poetry. We also do things like photography and art, which is kind of where the photo shoots come in. And then another thing that is really specific is that we do print and digital. So those are just like ideas of things. Obviously, don't copy us, but like if you kind of think about what are the things that make my magazine different and unique, what can I offer to the conversation? I think that that will really help you in starting your own magazine, because you'll have a clear idea of what you want to do. And when you have a clear idea of what you want to do, it's a lot easier to convey that to other people. Okay, sorry, that felt like a really long answer. I feel like these are all really long answers to very short questions, so I apologize for that. But okay. The next question is what inspired me to start the zine? Um, yeah, so I have like a lot of different reasons why I started Dreamworld Girl zine. I guess I'll just kind of run through a few of those. One of the big ones is that I'm a creative writing major, for those of you guys who don't know, and I've taken a lot of creative writing classes at school. I've taken a lot of literature classes at school, and I have always felt a little bit like the odd one out in those classes because my style is very YA or young adult, so focusing on young adult voices, which has been frowned upon traditionally in high literary circles like academia. And then I also just love whimsical stuff. I love fantasy. I love things that feel dreamy and magical. And I also think that, being a Black queer woman in a lot of my creative writing classes, that demographic, I haven't interacted with anyone else who identifies with those identities intersectionally. So, um, it is like it kind of was like me creating the zine was kind of like a fuck you to all the traditions and the things that have just been so normalized in the writing world. I think that there's a space for magazines like Dreamworld Girl Zine. I think that there are people who are talented writers, who are talented artists, who still want to just have fun and be whimsical, and it doesn't have to be so serious all the time. So that was a big reason for me starting the mag. And then another reason is just because I have always wanted to start my own press. Like eventually I hope this becomes like a publisher because that there's a lot of money in that, and um it would just mean that we would get to publish more artists, more people. But yeah, I've always wanted to do that. I just didn't really have an angle. And so what I just talked about, that kind of whimsicality, that queerness, that magical atmosphere, that kind of became my angle. And yeah, I just wanted to create a space for people that were like me and do it in like a really fun way. Um, so yeah, it's kind of inspired me to start the zine. And now we're on to, wait, hold on. What do I write? Okay, so now we're on to the last question, which is how does hiring work? How quick is the turnaround? And is there an interview portion? So this is a great question because we actually just had a video about hiring blow up on TikTok recently. So a lot of people are now tuned into our hiring season, which is such a difference from when we opened hiring back in April, because then like maybe 15 people applied, and now I think it's going to be like over 100 applicants. So it's very exciting. I know that a lot of people have questions about that process, so I'm so glad this question got asked. Hiring, I'll kind of give you guys the rundown, and then I'll also talk about the turnaround and the interviews as part of that rundown. So our hiring seasons are very short. So they are about anywhere from like 1 to 3 weeks. So we do it in April, we hire in April, and then we hire in October. And for October, the one that's coming up, hiring starts on October 1st. So on October 1st, you can go to our website at dreamworldgirlzine.com/careers, and you'll see this entire catalog of all of the staff positions and internship positions that are open right now. So that means you can apply for them. I don't know if I remember all of them off the top of my head, but I can try. So for the staff positions, we're hiring layout designers, readers, stylist, blog writers, and a photo coordinator for LA. So those are all the positions that are open. And so if any of those interest you on October 1st, not right now because they're not up right now, but on October 1st, you'll be able to go there and you'll see the descriptions, very detailed descriptions, including like pay, scheduling, roles and responsibilities, qualifications. You'll find all of that on that part of the website for each different role. So once you look at that, you can decide, okay, I want to apply for the layout designer position or the photo coordinator position. And the way you apply is by sending us through email, which is dreamworldgirlzine@gmail.com, your resume or portfolio, your name, both first and last, and then a cover letter. If you don't know what a cover letter is, it doesn't have to be elaborate like it might be for another job. It's basically just you telling us a little bit about who you are, outside of your resume and like why you want to work with us and yeah, just like a page, not even of like why you want to work with us. So you would send that, and that the same thing applies for the internship. So you have to apply for one of those or multiple. You can apply for multiple positions. I think there's seven of them. So there's fashion, makeup, editorial, marketing, design, media management, and content creation. And those are all different internships, and they have like the side positions, different roles, different things that would be expected of you. And you would do the same thing. You'll send us your first and last name, you'll send us your resume, your cover letter. You'll also specify that it's like for the internship and what internship you want to do. Like, please say which position you're applying for because we might be able to figure it out based on your cover letter and your resume, but we also might not be. So just be very like specific about like what you want to go out for. And yeah, that's all you have to do to apply, really. It's not like any like forms. You don't have to like do 10 pages of an application. It's very quick, all through email. And then pretty much within 24 hours of you sending in your application, we'll get back to you and we'll either request to interview, which means that we liked your application, we think that you might be a good fit for us, and we want to speak with you, learn a little bit more about you, your experience, see if you vibe with us. So that's what the request for interview would be for. And then there's also the possibility that within 24 hours, we'll get back to you and we'll say that we don't think you're right for this position or at this time, or if you apply late, and by late I mean like a week after hiring opens, we might have to tell you that that spot's already been filled. And that's why I really encourage people to apply as soon as possible, just because at least right now, our hiring process is super, super quick. So like people are getting hired within 3 days. And if you miss that, like if you wait to send in your application or you're just like hesitant, you don't really know, then you might miss an opportunity. So I like recommend applying like as soon as hiring opens or like within the next few days that it does. And we give it some time. So, like, for example, if we had 10 people apply for the reader position, we would probably wait until we got through at least half of those applications to decide if we wanted to hire that person or not. So we could compare applicants. So it's not like first come, first serve. It's just a thing of like, it is very quick. So if you apply 2 days before hiring closes, you might not get the position that you were going out for. And to kind of help with that, to kind of help people and make sure that we're not rejecting a whole bunch of people, we are going to take down the position once it's been filled. So you'll know, like, okay, like this position's been filled. They already have someone that they've hired for it. Maybe there's something else that I could apply for because you really want, if you really want to work with us. So anyway, for the interview portion, all the interviews are going to be virtual, even if you're based in Boston or LA. So it's going to be through Zoom, unless you have like a different method that you would like to use, but Zoom's typical for us. So we'll schedule a meeting that works for both of us. I'll be the primary interviewer for all the interviews. Emma, who, like I said, will be the co-EIC, might join a few of them. We might also have people from the departments that you're applying for join to ask specific questions about those roles. So it could be anywhere up to three people interviewing you and minimum one. And then yeah, so it's gonna be only like 30 minutes or so, nothing too long. We just ask you questions about yourself. We always also ask questions like fun ones about like the zine and how you fit into that. Like it might ask you what your favorite Y2K fashion trend is. Like it's gonna be very chill. And I really encourage people, like if you get an interview to not freak out, be chill. It's not like we're a multi-million-dollar company. We're just like 20-year-olds who have created this thing and we want it to go well. So just bring your energy, bring your A game, but be yourself. And after the interview, like I said, we'll probably give it up to 48 hours, maybe a little bit more, to decide if we like your if we want to hire you. And we'll probably compare you with other applicants that we've had if you've had them. And yeah, so we just kind of figure that out. And if we do want to hire you, you'll hear back from us. We'll say, congratulations, you've been offered this position, and you can either take it or leave it. And that will include like the start date and fun things like that. And then if we decide that you're not right for that application or you're not right for this position after the interview, we'll also let you know that. So it's basically like it's just a round one process. You have one round of interviews and then we get back to you either yes, you've been hired or no, you haven't been. And yeah, that's kind of how the hiring process works. I hope that explained it. The reason why I keep mentioning how fast it's going to be is because it is going to be fast. Like I'm going to be doing interviews every single day for those 2 weeks probably that hiring is open. So yeah, definitely recommend getting it in, not being shy about your talents, because we are, especially for the staff positions, I think those are going to be more qualified applicants because it's staff, so we're really looking for like the best of the best. And then internships, because they're unpaid, I think we're just looking for anyone who's like good at what they do, we see potential in them, and we think we can train them, and that working with the Zoom will actually give them valuable experience. That's what we want to do with the internship program is give back and have people be working on set or writing articles and have that experience as early as 18 years old. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit about the hiring process. And as with all of the questions that you might have, you can always shoot us an email or a DM. Like we're gonna answer them. So that's our general FAQ. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys so soon. Bye.